resource persons. Okay.
All lectures also.
They are not taking use, I am sorry, they are not making use of absolute Hindi. That was a mix.
Sometimes they are using.
Sometimes they
are using, but morning 100%. Today morning 100% English.
This is a white lie that you are saying that they are making use of Hindi also.
Today morning 100%
That is
English.
not true. This gentleman, the library that we visited, he made use of Hindi. He said that deliberately.
Yes, he was not interpreter. He can't speak. Yes, that's
No, he can speak, but he will not speak.
Okay, fine.
Even though we interpreted, we requested, he didn't respond. We requested, he didn't respond.
We will request the resource person to maintain balance. Isn't it? If,
We don't want balance, sir. Only should be English medium. We don't want balance. Whichever balance there.
No, there are certain points, certain things which need explanation. If it is done in mother tongue, then it is more readily understandable.
But we are coming various regional people. No?
Okay.
We are coming very regional people. Why do you want balance?
Out of these 7 people, we are not getting Hindi.
Eight.
They can also they.
8 people. See, all Hindi know that kaisa hai, idhar hai, udhar hai. That is our Hindi.
Small Hindi. But Hindi is the national language.
No, that is for the North Indians. That is only North Indians, not for the South Indians.
I tell you, this linguistic issue must not come into the deal. And he rightly says that at least a little bit of Hindi we should be aware of.
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, let us not
English medium, sir.
this debate. I have noted your point. I will try to sort it out. Okay, coming back to the first point, you see the visit to this heritage or museum or whatever. We had planned it originally, of course, in the afternoon. Okay, but please try to understand our situation. All resource persons who have booked their reservation, including Professor Chauhan Saab, now the Kaleem Saab, who had his confirmed booking by Shatabdi this afternoon. Just now he phoned us. He can't because of land order problem in Lucknow. So this is something unforeseen.
No,
we have to adjust it. Today I was sitting with Chauhan Saab, requesting him to arrange for some other resource persons. And as far as we stand by that we had included the visit to that museum in the afternoon. Visit to the museum, if you look at it very literally and disciplinarily, it is not part of the training, isn't it?
No,
but,
sir, it can be a part of the
let me explain. I said literally, strictly, it is not part of the course content, but we realize it is not some school, you are not some school while you are here for expanding your vision, your perception, so many things about North India, about any particular culture. If they come to you, it's all good, isn't it? It is not that something totally unacademic or frivolous. We send all our this OP course participants and tell them, look here, this is our tragedy. Our own children, they don't know any of the sanskar, parampara, they don't know anything about their heritage. If you ask them even their grandparents' names, most of them won't know. They spend 25 hours a day on their smartphone. I am not against the smartphone, use them. Without that there is no progress. But at least they should know something about their family heritage. So visit to a museum that gives them some ideas. So that was that. But please pray for us that we manage to get hold of the resource person, and these things are totally out of our control, out of our hand. This resource person's disappearing. Right. About the bus, I said we will change it immediately. There is no issue with that. I am here this morning with another hat. I am a student of English, so I would like to share with you, again, not as a lecture or teaching, some of my observations about communication. And let me explain at the very outset, it has nothing to do with English. It applies to any language. Another point is, the points which I am going to make, they cover both spoken and written. It is not that, don't think that I have put the word here as a kind of, look, something is missing here. It should be speaking. A is also there. the formula is speaking. I don't know where he dropped that, speaking. क्या हो गया वो उसमें तो था जी बीच में कैसे एडिट हो गया ई के बाद ए बढ़ा दें स्पीकिंग कर दें
जी भाई हो गया थोड़ा सा स्पेस ऊपर करके स्पेस
चाहिए तो देखिए it looks like speaking but it is not that I am going to give you some magic pill and you take it and you start
उसको ऊपर ड्रैग करके
right so the formula it says the acronym it says speaking but it is not some magic pill that you take and then you start anyone who does that he will start speaking fluent English. It is not so. It is just for again for convenience and comprehension. My point to you is please whatever your subject, whatever your background, whatever your mode of communication, when you communicate, please bring to mind this particular formula speaking. Why? How? I will just explain. The first word here is, as you can see, S. S stands for situation. Scene. Before you open your mouth, before you start using your pen, the first thing you have to consider, जैसे हमारे बड़े बूढ़े क्या करते थे बोलने से पहले तोल जी this is first you should be very clear in your mind where are you and this where is not physical isn't it where is in a social context in an emotional context in a psychological context where is not geographical where is the context the situation. Here is Professor Izhar Faruqi as a training. Just after 1 hour, he will go to, not to his department, he will go to his office. He is in charge of our electricity building department. Totally different context. Contractors there, tender, this, another lingo is there. Person remains the same. After 1 hour, he is back home. Kids. Wife, nagging wife, I hope not. So, totally different context situation. Life is full of situations, numerous situations. For example, this situation that for 6 days, no internet, unthinkable, isn't it? This morning he gave me, he said 10 persons have not given their TA bill. I said, it's understandable because they don't have access to internet, how can they print it out? It is not that there is something, lack of cooperation on their part. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing to bring to your mind before you say anything, before you write anything, you are the best judge. No one can decide that. You decide what is the situation, what is the scene, what is the scenario. So, in that sense, it is the first consideration which should be at the back of the mind. Next is P. P stands for participant. So this is where P is participant within parenthesis S. Who are the participants? Singular or plural? Who are you talking to? Tu, tum, aap. Aadmi ko hi raha, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm sorry for using this mother tongue, but I can't help it because these shades of meaning, in English it is not there, it is you. But in our Hindi, Urdu, isn't it? small variation, and the person remains, and that shows your relationship, emotional relationship. And the kind of language will also be different. So, who is participating? Professor Suresh, these things are like the back of the hand for science and technology people. In ELT, we discuss all these things, yes, sociolinguistics and pragmatics and all this. This is part of that. And then you know very well situational context, the situational approach to language and all that. So, my dear fellow teachers, this is another day, another head. Please think about who is there, who is or who are there. What is your relationship to them? What is their status? What they expect of you? Otherwise, we get a sorry feeling. It is embarrassing. We feel, and once you say something, तीर और ज़बान जो है, बोल जो है, एक बार निकल गया तो वापस नहीं आता. So participant is who. Then the next word is E. E is end. So not the end of that which comes at Bollywood film end. End is in the sense of objective, purpose. Why are you engaging in the communication in the first place? What do you want? You want a favor from me? Or you want to give me a directive? Or you want to consult me? What do you have in mind? And again, look here, it is up to you. No one is going to help you. As an individual, before you communicate, you have to answer these questions to yourself. The more you, it is all common sense, isn't it? You know all these points, they are what we say common places, but that's what is communication or management people do. They do it in a organized or in a systematic manner. So end is what you want to achieve with your communication. I have just put the word end. As a student of English, I would like to discuss with you. We use at the end, in the end. You are all senior academicians. In different situations, you may need this word. Could any one of you please enlighten me? In the end, at the end, same or different? And if they are different, what is the difference? Not Prof. Your lips are sealed. Yes.
It is used with a particular situation. Like
What?
Particular, like if there is a story, we'll say at the end of the story.
Okay.
Like when we talk about some period, something, duration, then we use end. Something like that.
In the
Any other idea? She's quite close to that point, but in a more,
Okay.
what we say, articulate way or comprehensive.
See, I can say that at the end of this course, we will get a certificate.
Very good.
Particular.
Mhm. And in the end, you will celebrate.
The moment which is about to end or about to finish, just before.
Good, good. Are you from mathematics, science background? What is it?
Civil engineering.
Civil engineering. Right. The English is a funny language. Listen here. Prime Minister delivering the speech. Okay? An action going on. At the end, he said, Jai Hind. Literally, physically, the last thing for that we use. The Prime Minister was delivering the speech. In the end, he emphasized national unity. These were not his last words. You get me? Index is at the end of the book. Madam, in the end, the author talks about nanotechnology. He has discussed many things. The last point which he mentions, it may be chapter 5 or 6. That is in the end. In the end is conclusion, the final point. When we say at, who is sitting at the end of this desk? Professor Ikram Khan is sitting. Literally, physically, precisely when something, and same applies to at the beginning, in the beginning. In the beginning, the students were told about the rules of the house, and at the beginning, they greeted each other. I just said each other. Should it be each other or one another?
Yeah, it
I
depends.
said they greeted each other. What mental picture do you have?
Yeah, each other means there are only two.
Very good. Only two, isn't it? But this is what one of the common, and we are not, most of you are not students of English, not studying in that sense. These are what we say, finer points of language, but they do matter. When only two persons are there, when I said they greeted each other, I had in mind only two persons. When there are more than two, they are one another. They greeted one another. Right. So, is this clear? What you want to achieve, what do you want to do? And then A is A is comes from act. This term comes from drama. You know, drama is one particular action. It is divided into various acts, various scenes. Communication depends, communication is very much influenced or determined by the time when you are involved in that. Just as in drama, act 1, act 2, act 3, at the beginning, Professor Jaiswal will use a different kind of language when he is presenting his seminar. But when he is in the middle of his paper, his presentation will be different. That will be different from the end part. So, communication, whether writing, whether spoken, the timing. When are you participating? Are you initiating something? Professor, if he is a director, he is taking a meeting, his language, his role will be different when he is one of the members of the committee. Look, he remains the same, his social status remains the same, everything is equal, isn't it? But what is your entry point? When are you making your input? That also makes difference in the use of it. Naturally, when we write a letter, but when we reply, naturally, our attitude, our language, our whole presentation, that becomes different. So what I say, act is when. When is literally the situation in which you are. Is this clear? Then K is standing for key. Key. This term key is from music. You know, all musical instruments, they have keys, strings, keys. What is the idea I want to share with you? The rise and fall, tone, accent. Music is slow, smooth, melodious, and then rock music, isn't it? At the top. And let me explain. Nothing to do only with tone and accent. Tone, accent is only in the spoken. What? So all this accent, tonal variation, that's also important part. Whole language depends on the keys. Look here, I dislike coffee. I like coffee. I like tea, but I dislike coffee. I hate coming late to meetings. Anyone, including myself, I hate that. I abhor violence. I denounce terrorism. Look here, the idea is dislike. And with just variation in the word, the intensity, the degree, just as music moves on from this to the highest level, abhor, denounce, they are very strong word, and only in those contexts they are needed. I am surprised to see you. I am bewildered to see you. Why? Because you should not be here. I am surprised to see you. We had fixed a meeting at 11 and he turned up at 10. I was surprised. But he should be in Pune. I know he has a very important meeting there and he is here. So I am aghast. I am bewildered. I am shocked. I am outraged. I am amazed. All these are synonyms, and these synonyms are like musical keys. Naturally, this is my bread and butter English, so I get paid for that. If I know 1,000 synonyms, that's not a special, that's not something remarkable. But for you, my request to you would be, have a feel for it, please. That will help you. And then writing, especially drafting, that becomes a joy, isn't it? If you are familiar with these finer shades of meaning, which we call as usage. One is grammar, that's well past that stage. At this stage, playing with the words, isn't it? With just one word, you say everything, isn't it? And when I say I abhor violence, that shows my temperament, my priorities in life, my ideology, everything is. I dislike coffee, it is just a matter of personal taste, yes, choice, taste, that doesn't tell much about me. But when I say outrage, when I use a variety of other words, so writing or communication is like music. The remote is in your hand. You can make it slow, medium, high, depending upon what? Depending upon the situation. That's why when we are emotionally, we are under emotional stress, our voice, our tone, everything gets even out of control. High to hote hi hai, even it gets out of control. We don't have this, our emotional or nervous mechanism in place. So, key is a key factor in language, and please key it in your perception level. Key, isn't it? Right. Next is I. So key stands for how. I am putting these interrogative words. Now I will ask a question to Professor Suresh Saab. Suresh Saab, ये जो है interrogative word, these are interrogative words. What, who, when, why, when, what. They are masculine, feminine, or neutral? Neutral. He, she, it. They are masculine, feminine. Now I am telling you something which is about cultural history. When I was eight years old, I was a personal tutor, 8, 9 years. Very kind person. But that shows the mindset. That shows the cultural history of our society, our country. What he told me, if I tell to my student, I will be behind bars, I will be lynched. Look, amazing. He is my personal tutor, full of love, affection. I am 8 years old and he is teaching me English, and these are interrogative words. Can you think how can these interrogative words take you to prison? Something very funny but instructive as well. So he's teaching me that these are interrogative word, question word, and later on we know they are WH words. They are best friends of man, and man, all knowledge, all progress, and being because of this, only when Newton asked the question, then he got the answer about gravity and Archimedes, and he told you so many scientists that they raise questions, and that's what science, technology people are. Even philosophers, only by asking questions, you get answers, and you get the conviction, you get the sensation. Fine, fair enough. Now, look at the bombshell. Grandpa, he told me, look, right. He said, listen carefully. I thought he's telling me something grammar. What he told me, he said, these two, please don't feel offended, the lady is there. He told me these two interrogatives, who and what, they are feminine, giggling, gossiping girls. They ask these frivolous questions. What happened? Who? What? Who? What? You are a boy, if you have to, it's logic. You are a boy, if you have to make a mark in life, always go for these serious questions, logical things. How? Procedure, mechanism, why, cause and effect. Look, he's trying to give me a lesson, but doing it at the expense of poor girls, isn't it? Gender issue. And that was the mindset. And we should be honest about it, isn't it? Say 50 years, 100 years ago, a kind of this looking down upon. Funny, don't you find it funny?
I was laughing, that is why I and Professor Tommy perhaps we too were laughing. आप जब कह रहे थे, तो लग रहा था कि it is quite something very unique, because when we talk about social linguistics, we talk in terms of register, that's it.
Exactly.
So the interpretation that you are giving is a little different from that.
Yes, yes.
We talk about Taylor modern domain, and that's it.
Yes,
But that would have been a little bit terminological. So
as they said, something to do with our mindset, and so thank goodness, thank God, that in our own lifetime, there has been a transformation to thinking patterns, and that's why I was saying, if I were to say any such thing, I would be lynched, or I would be in prison, and first of all, I don't buy this story, I believe in this equal gender equality, gender parity, but look here, this is teaching English interrogative words and putting in the gender discourse. And in his own right, he was making a point. He was saying, what he was saying, that you should not, anyone, whether boy or girl, should not lose time, energy in frivolous trivia, isn't it? All this 25 hours a day breaking news, isn't it? And then we have no time for real analysis or enlightenment discussion. We are carried away by these superficial things. So that was the point which he was making, that thinking, logical thinking, critical inquiry, and that's what the important things in life that you should develop. So I would just
sir, can I make an observation
Yeah,
here?
please, go ahead.
A few days back, there was an article in the Times of India. It was about the socio-linguistic perception of a language. And the researcher, he studied the use of the word like miss, and Mrs. in the two campuses, the U and JNU. And then he talked about it that nowadays this word Mrs. is out of fashion. Alright, all the girls, whether they are married or unmarried, they are
They would
making
say
use of the word
They would like to
miss.
address
And then he also talked about the word, how the interpretation, social-linguistic interpretation of the word miss has undergone a change.
True.
Even the married women are making use of this.
True.
So this is very interesting.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
talking about
It is.
this.
Another very interesting thing, both,
Can I
yes,
ask a
please,
question?
go ahead. Feel
Curious
free.
question, is this problem with the English language? Because when you started the English language also, it is a language preference at that time. Even for example, all the higher positions are supposed to be for men. For example, chairman. Okay. There was never like a chairwoman. So now we are changing it to chairperson. But it's such a distinction in other languages, because at least I know in Malayalam it is not there. Okay, it doesn't distinguish whether it's a woman or a man or something like that. All the words are exactly like a neutral ones. So
If you want, I can say 10 minutes about this language discourse, this gender bias in language. I will tell you something more shocking. Again, Suresh Saab will agree.